What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Algorand. Algorand is one I've spoken about a few times. I think the founder is a genius, and I think there's some stuff to be very positive about moving forward with Algorand. So I'm going to get into that in a second. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. The first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. If you invested $100 to each of these when I release videos about them, and you're still holding all that crypto, you'd be in profit for over 28.5 grand. They're not the coins that I hold. If you want to see the coins I hold, you can come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share every coin I buy, every coin I sell, and I'm beginning to share those coins that I think can do the massive gains from bear cycle to bull cycle. And there are opportunities to find those significant gains in these markets. I found Phantom when Phantom was in a bear cycle. That's still up 166 times, and that's after multiple retracements. And there are a list of coins that I'm really excited about. I've began sharing a few of them when I think that they've got good entry points to do a 20x, 40x, 50x, 100x, and be sharing them with the members. So if you want to know exactly what I'm going to be getting into during the bear cycle, then click the link in the description and check it out. Right. Algorand. So Algorand is priced at 70 cents pretty much. They've got a circulating supply of 6 billion or 6.7 billion. All-time high has been around $2.40 basically, which is actually the ICO price. So anyone that got in on ICO, I mean, potentially, you may have earned through, through staking, but it's not actually been profitable from ICO unless, like I said, you've been staking. Because if you have, you've probably earned a decent chunk, and it has then been profitable at moments, but it's still a third of the price of ICO. But Silvio McCarley, he's won a Turing Award for his contributions to blockchain, two-party computation, electronic cash, crypto in general. He's one of the greatest minds in the space. I'm intrigued to see how this moves forward. I've spoken about Algorand a ton of times. I like it. There's it's easy to like. Transaction fees are very, very, very low. In terms of transactions per second, needs work. Throughput's not great. 13 is not enough. I'll be interested to see, like I say, with the developments, we're starting to see layer 2 gaming ecosystems building on Algorand. But the biggest thing right now is what happened just a few days ago, which was Algorand announced and FIFA announced a partnership. And Algorand obviously surged in price as a result of the news. So you'd expect that. Now, FIFA is obviously the governing body of the World Cup. So Algorand is going to be a partner for the upcoming World Cup competition in November. I'm not going to get into why. The fact that it's in Qatar, it's ridiculous. But Algorand's going to be a regional support for North America and Europe. What this means is they're going to get opportunity to promote and advertise and get media exposure for Algorand throughout this tournament. It's the most, and the World Cup is the most watched sporting tournament in the world. So it bodes well for them in terms of exposure. What's interesting is FIFA's looking at getting assistance from Algorand to develop its digital asset strategy. What I'd be expecting is that we are going to start seeing, and it's something I've spoken about loads, but I know there's been a lot of negativity around fan tokens, and I get why. What I'm actually interested in is how they start building things like digital playing cards. I know there's versions of them out, but a FIFA based or a FIFA endorsed or FIFA created list of playing cards of footballers around the world, I think could garner a lot of activity. I think that's something that I could see a lot of people wanting to buy right now, you're just getting odd football teams that are like producing these cards, and because it's just a single football team doing it here or there, they're not really getting much of a following or much of a surge, but a complete game card ecosystem, with players and their attributes, FIFA endorsed, has enormous potential. And I think it could do very well. And if they're built upon Algorand, I think Algorand as a result could do quite well. But this is good for Algorand because it gets really significant exposure. I would be interested to see what continues with Algorand, because right now they have a lot that are happening. They've got an ecosystem that's grown really, really well. I still think they could do with more in terms of seeing some more intriguing DeFi applications on the network. I think, given their throughput, I don't think we're going to see tons in terms of gaming necessarily. But Algo 5 Volt and Focus Finance are both DeFi applications on Algorand, and they're doing pretty damn well. I mean, to be fair, Algo 5 Volt has added $2.7 billion of liquidity for the DeFi ecosystem. So the ecosystem itself, like I say, is pretty damn good. You do actually see a ton of really respected minds talking about the quality of Algorand, and there's no arguments with regards to that. But I would like to see a more significant growth in terms of DeFi, adding in some real quality in terms of lending protocols, and in terms of potentially yield farming. AlgoFi definitely has brought some value to the DeFi space for Algorand. They've still got some work to do in terms of growth, from my mind, and I would want to see greater throughput on Algorand long term. Part of the reason that so many people are excited about Solana long term is that throughput is very strong and the transaction fees are very low. Now, Algorand have nice low transaction fees. Their throughput needs work. But they're looking to obviously strengthen that. It was invented to speed up transactions and improve efficiency. It's designed so that there are lower transaction fees as well as no mining. And the transaction fees are fantastic, to be fair to them. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I do think successful partnerships like FIFA, and you add in a number of different a growth to the ecosystem, and the long-term prospects for Algorand are pretty damn good. But the FIFA stuff is definitely a real positive for them. Crypto.com, like you can't underestimate how valuable exposure is. You saw Crypto.com, FTX, making multiple moves in terms of advertising, and Crypto.com had a real surge after successful advertising. To be fair, even Dogecoin, had a real surge as a result of Elon Musk's sort of appearance on SNL, until it obviously peaked out and capitulated a bit. But the right exposure brings volume, brings interest, brings investment. So it will be very interesting to see how Algorand does around November, regardless of the market situation at that point. And I think we're very likely to be a lot lower than where everything is right now. Certainly probability goes that way. But in November, that's a month-long World Cup tournament. It's the biggest in the world. A lot of people are going to see Algorand, and we may see a surge for it. So it'd be one to watch, one to sort of make a note of. I've spoken about this in the past. It's really worth making a note about interesting events or significant, moments that have an impact on particular coins. If you can get a history of these things, even if and it can be even, all encompassing. China banned crypto, huge drop. Um, you know, Crypto.com buys the naming rights to an arena, surge. All these little things. If you've got a history of these events, you can use them to be your benefit in terms of trading. So even just making a note, look, the announcement caused a surge in price, about 20% surge. What's going to happen when the event happens? Is there going to be a surge in Algorand? Monitor that across the month, start of the month, end of the month. How did it change? I'll be doing that. That'll be interesting. But what do you think? Do you think Algorand's going to have a ton of positivity out of the FIFA announcement? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content's coming out. And if you're new to crypto or you've not been in crypto a while but you're not prepared for a bear cycle, you can see what I'm saying at the moment on Copy My Crypto. Like I said, I'm just beginning to share the coins that I'm really excited about long term, when I think they've got really good entry points to make 20 times gain, 40 times gain, 50, 100, like I said with Phantom. I'm going to be letting everyone know. So if you want to know the coins that I'm getting in during a bear cycle, click the link in the description and check it out. That's it from me. Take it easy. Bye-bye.